Good morning. Welcome to Shooting Off at the Mouth. This is an episode which I am recording after a very long time as the coronavirus kind of loosens its grip on us and the first green shoots of winter bloom in Ahmedabad. Today I want to talk about what has changed in this post-corona world only in a microcosm. Today's newspaper had a story that the Deaths Recovery Tribunal of Ahmedabad fined a lawyer rupees 10,000 for appearing in video conferencing from his car. The Honorable Deaths Recovery Tribunal is in good company when it does this. About a month and a half back, one learned single judge of the Gujarat High Court also passed a similar order. He castigated the lawyer for smoking during the hearing, a reprehensible habit which otherwise also the lawyer should ditch. And the learned single judge commented upon the lack of decorum in appearing before an august body like the High Court while sitting in the car. I want to talk a little about that. From the times of the great Rajas, from the times of the Forum in Rome, in the republics of Greece, justice was always asked for and done in person. A judge or judges, the jury, would hear one person, the other opposing party, and pronounce their judgment. The bedrock of this, was its openness, and that everybody could access it. Everybody could see justice being done. Hence that hackneyed phrase that justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. From the 23rd of April, we have turned that paradigm on its head. And not without good reason. We've resorted to video conferencing, a pale shadow of the real face-to-face hearing that all lawyers and I think many judges wish to go back to, the physical hearing. But till we work that out, we are doing video conferencing. I am doing it with greater or lesser degree of skill, with greater or lesser degree of willingness, but I am doing it. All my other colleagues are doing it. But it's a new way of doing things. There are no set procedures. For example, just immediately I'll tell you, in the court, during physical hearing, I would never dream of addressing the presiding officer, whoever he be or she be, while sitting down. But here we are all sitting down, as I am sitting down, and this is how I argue cases. In fact, I pretty much argue from this point in my house. I have bands, and I don't wear a jacket. We are not expected to wear a black jacket, much less a robe. So these are new ways of doing some old things. The fact that I do it from my living room does not detract from the solemnity of the occasion or that I am not maintaining decorum. Supposing a family member should pass by, it might disturb the learned judge, but that is something we have to take in our stride. I have argued before one particular district court where every 10-15 minutes the link would break and we'd come back and we'd do the work. Now, why am I mentioning all this? I mention all this because there is no paradigm which we have set as to what is the decorum of video conferencing. Maybe wiser minds than mine will work it out. But I certainly believe that video conferencing must take place from where it is possible. It has happened to me that I have argued a matter from the reception hall of an hotel, because where we had gone for the hearing in the room, the Wi-Fi was not good enough. Was that a breach of decorum? I don't know. It may happen that a lawyer does not get good signal at home. Why? He may not have Wi-Fi at home. She may have to use the internet access provided by her phone. And we know that universal data is a myth. There are some spots where you get signal, there are some spots which you don't. Picture a young lawyer living in a small house, blessed with a couple of squabbling children, a harassed wife, a dodgy internet Wi-Fi connection, and wants to argue the matter. He says, "Isko sab chodo. I'll go sit in my car, switch on the AC, and I'll argue the matter." I ask you, especially you, honorable judges, is that a breach of decorum? Was the dignity of the court hurt in any way? Was the efficiency of the hearing impaired in any manner? He argued it from wherever he could. He didn't have loud music in the background. He was not smoking a cigarette. Even if he was, that apart. When I joined the bar in 1988, you could not have water while arguing a case. You had to make an obsequious request to the Honorable Court. The court would, in its benign majesty, allow you to go out, and you drank water and came back. All that is gone now. Honorable judges sitting on the dais have water, sometimes some steaming liquid, maybe warm water. I have argued cases at great length for days before the learned judge. And he has told me, he said, "Stop all this formality, please have a glass of water by your side." So that has changed. So our idea of decorum is always a work in progress. But I don't think that the formality of the hearings has reached such a pass that a lawyer sitting in the car needs to be fined. The judiciary has been extremely cautious in reopening during the coronavirus times. In fact, truth be told, everything is still going on by video conferencing. The other limbs of the government are working with warm bodies, touching each other, infecting each other, getting immunity, but everybody is working from their offices. The judiciary, which makes its own rules of proceeding, as it is entitled under the Constitution, has chosen this path. But at least it should acknowledge that this is a completely new situation where unnaturality is bred in the bone, is inherent in this situation. The judge is sitting at her residence. Her stenographer is sitting at a remote place. My opponent is sitting elsewhere. I am sitting elsewhere. We are spread all over perhaps the state. So what if one of us is sitting in the car? With great respect, the idea that a lawyer arguing from the car breaches the decorum of the court is, to put it extremely politely, unwelcome and perhaps unnecessary. I must assure the honorable judges, both of them, and all the judges, that lawyers also don't like arguing from the car. We would like to stand in front of you and argue in person. But until you let us do that, please let us do our job the best we can. Today, a learned judge or learned judges have found that arguing from the car is a breach of decorum. Who's to say somebody will find that why is there this background music going on? Or why are you sitting in a location where this is or that is your background? A breach of decorum is a deliberate act which affects the dignity of the court, which lowers the dignity. Not appearing in a matter affects the functioning of the court. But appearing in a case, arguing it out as best you can, is hardly a breach of decorum or dignity. I have a confession to make. We don't know when cases are being called out, so we do some at the office and some we do from home. I do it from home. And sometimes it happens that a matter is called out when you are traveling. I have addressed learned judges from home. I know other senior advocates, gentlemen brought up in the discipline of the law with the most impeccable credentials, who have made submissions to the learned judges from the court. I don't think there's any breach of discipline. And this disproportionately tends to target those people with fewer resources. Therefore, there is one request I make to anybody who hears this, that it was not a very good idea to punish the concerned lawyers for arguing the matter of the court, to argue the matter from the car, and that it's a bad idea whose time has come and gone, and perhaps you need to look at it again, because it serves nobody for a lawyer, young lawyer who doesn't have an office perhaps, who's going from one place to another, to be asked to pay damages of 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees is still a lot of money. So my humble request, well, I don't know who is listening to this, but I believe that we all must set our face against such kind of behavioral norms which seem to arise unnaturally in these unnatural times. I am hopeful that these two instances will be the exception. Lawyers don't like to offend judges when they are appearing in matters before that judge at that time. They will try and do their best. Trust them to do their best. Let us all try and make these difficult times a little less difficult by not invoking these other principles which come in the way of effective hearing. Thank you. Jai Hind.